Hello students, I am Akhilesh Kumar Srivastava from ABS Engineering College. In today's lecture, we will discuss about the transitive closure and shortest path in the graphs. There are various types of the possibilities wherein you need to find out the shortest path between a pair of the station, between all pair of the stations, or between a destination and the source. So, in today's lecture, we will find out what are the different types of these problems, and we will focus on all pair shortest path in today's lecture. So, the outline of the lecture would be, we will first understand what is the concept of the shortest path, what are the different types of the shortest path, then we will discuss about the transitive closure, and finally, we will discuss all pair shortest path. Now, what is shortest path? Let us say we have a graph. In this graph, this is the undirected graph. It may be a directed graph, but the weights on the edges are not mentioned. It means हम इस ग्राफ में ये कंसिडर करेंगे कि जो पेयर ऑफ स्टेशंस हैं उनके बीच में जो एज एग्जिस्ट करता है उस पर कोई भी वेट, डिस्टेंस या कॉस्ट असाइन नहीं है. ऐसे केस में अगर हमें शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ फाइंड करना है किसी पेयर ऑफ स्टेशन के बीच में, so that will be the count of number of edges. For example, अगर हमें vertex A से E पे जाना है, so the shortest path is A C E. The number of edges involved for traveling from A to E vertex is 2. So this will be the shortest path. So you will count the number of vertices between the pair of the stations, count the number of edges between the pair of the station, and that will be the answer. But there may be certain situations wherein you are given a graph in which the cost on the edges or the distance on the edges is mentioned. In this case, you may need a different algorithm for finding out the solution of the shortest path. For example, if we have to find out the shortest path between B and D, so the direct edge is telling us the cost is 450. But if you travel from B to A, then A to D, so total cost would be 210 plus 190, 400. So 400 is smaller than 450, so you will pick this one as your solution. The difference between the two types of the shortest path, the one in which the cost on the edges is not mentioned and the other one in which the cost on the edges is mentioned, can be found with a different mechanism. We have a method called BFS, the breadth first search, wherein you can find out the shortest path between the vertices if the cost is not mentioned. But for finding out the shortest path between the pair of the station, maybe single pair, maybe multiple pairs, you may need the algorithms like Dijkstra's algorithm and Warshall's algorithm. In case the weights are negative, you may need the algorithm like Bellman-Ford algorithm for finding out the shortest path. So we shall see them one by one, and today's agenda would be to find out the shortest path between every pair of the vertex. Now, how can we find the shortest path between two points in a map? For example, you have selected the two stations on the map, A and B. How would you find it out? It would be like you will have to map various locations, means various cities in the form of the vertices, and then the edges would be representing the road segment and the weights will be the distance between these two stations in the form of the road segment or the length of the road segment. So goal would be to find out the shortest path between the two vertices. So अगर आपके पास एक मैप है उसमें डिफरेंट स्टेशंस हैं, उन डिफरेंट स्टेशंस को आप वर्टिसेस से रिप्रेजेंट करें. एजेस माने कि वो रोड है और उस रोड की जो लेंथ होगी दैट विल बी दी वेट्स ऑन दोज एजेस, एंड फाइनली यू विल हैव टू फाइंड आउट द शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ बिटवीन the two vertices or two stations or two cities. Now, you see there is a graph, let us say G equals to VE. The weight is what? Weight is actually the cost on the edge. And how will you define a path? You will define a path like this. For example, vertex number V0, V1, V2, V3, where V0 is representing the source station and V3 is representing the destination station. So, path is V0 to V1 to V2 to V3, and the cost of this path would be the cost of edge V0 V1, cost of the edge V1 V2, cost of the edge V2 V3. So, you will sum all these costs, then you will find out the total cost of the path. What will be the shortest path? The shortest path would be the distance between the pair of the station, and that is minimum. In case the two vertices are approachable, it means we can reach to one station from the other in some way or the other, then the minimum distance between the pair of the station would be the shortest path. And the situation wherein we cannot reach from one station to the other, this is in such a case we will say that the distance between the pair of a station is infinite. It means, let us say there is a graph. On the right hand side there is a graph. In this graph, if you say that S is the source station and T, X, Z, Y, all these are the stations which are the destination stations. तो अगर आपको S सोर्स से इन वर्टिसेस पे पहुंचना है तो आप कह सकते हैं कि S से T पे जाने का मिनिमम कॉस्ट 3 है, S से Y पे जाने का मिनिमम कॉस्ट 5 है, S से X पे जाने का जो कॉस्ट है मिनिमम कॉस्ट दैट इज 3 + 6 दैट इज 9, S से Z पे जाने का जो कॉस्ट है दैट इज इक्वल्स टू 5 + 6 दैट इज 11. अगर आपको S से X जाना है तो रास्ता आप कौन सा लेंगे? S से Y and Y से X. 5 + 4 this is giving you 9. However, various paths are possible. One path is S to T and then T to X, then S to Y, Y to Z and then Z to X. So इनमें से हम मिनिमम पाथ वाला या शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ वाला रूट सेलेक्ट करेंगे. Now what are the variants of the shortest path possible? One is the single source shortest path. Single source shortest path means, let us say my college is organizing a conference, and in this conference the people will be coming from the different stations or different universities located in the different cities. So the my college has decided that they will pay to the attendees the TA, means the travelling allowance. They will pay the travelling allowance for the third AC fare from the shortest route. So we will have to find out the shortest route of ABS Engineering College Ghaziabad to the destinations, to all the destinations from which the people are coming. So single source shortest path means the source is fixed, destination may be many. Then there is a single destination shortest path, means there is a destination decided and the people are coming from the various sources. In that case you have to find out the shortest path. So the answer or the method by which we will be finding out this solution is, you should reverse the direction of the edges and then you apply the single source shortest path. The another one is single pair shortest path. It means where the source and the destination is decided. Source is decided, destination is decided. There is a single source and a single destination, and you have to find out the distance between these two stations. ये प्रैक्टिस आप फॉलो करते हैं जब आप अपनी कैब बुक करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल थ्रू ओला और ऊबर कैब आप अपना सोर्स स्पेसिफाई करते हैं, डेस्टिनेशन स्पेसिफाई करते हैं. ओला और ऊबर फाइंड्स आउट द शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ एंड अकॉर्डिंगली इट टेल्स यू व्हाट वुड बी द फेयर. So this problem can also be solved using the single source shortest path problem. Now the another variant of the shortest path problem is the all pair shortest path problem. In the all pair shortest path problem, we have to find out the shortest path between every possible pair in the vertex in the graph. For example, if I have a graph A, B, C, D, so you may be interested in finding out the shortest path between AB, AC, AD. Similarly, you may be interested in finding out the shortest path between BA, BC and BD. Similarly, you may be interested in finding out the shortest path between CA, CB and CD. Similarly, you may be interested in finding out the shortest path between DA, DB and DC. So, you may be interested in finding out the shortest path between every possible pair of the vertex in the graph. So, we find out this all pair shortest path using an algorithm known as Floyd-Warshall algorithm, and that will be the agenda of today's class. Now, let us first discuss about the transitive closure in the graph. What is the transitive closure? I will tell you later, but first understand that the graph is given on the right hand side and there is a adjacency matrix that we have formed from this graph. So, what are the entries in the adjacency matrix? Adjacency matrix की entries क्या होंगी? Adjacency matrix will be of size V cross V. In case we have 4 vertices in the graph, the size of this adjacency matrix would be 4 cross 4. In case you write down the vertex number on row side and on the column side as well, then the row column entry 1 1 is telling you whether there is an edge between 1 and 1 vertex. The entry 1 2 is telling you whether there is an edge between 1 and 2. The entry 1 3 is telling you whether there is an edge between 1 to 3 and so on and so forth. The entry 4 3 is telling you whether there is an edge between 4 to 3 or not. So, in case there is an edge, the entry is 1, and in case there is no edge, that entry is represented by 0. So, this is the graph and for which we have written the adjacency matrix, we have drawn the adjacency matrix. In this adjacency matrix, you can see that these are the entries which are non-zero. By this you can presume that there are 4 edges in the graph. So, you can see that edge number 1, edge number 2, edge number 3 and edge number 4. So, there are 4 edges in this graph. Now, after this, let us do the simple arithmetic and square the given matrix. We have been given a matrix A, let us square it. So, the A square matrix that you find will be telling you all the paths of length 2. There are the entries which are 1 here in this graph. Let us see, this entry is, let us mark the vertex numbers. So, entry 1 4 is 1, that means there is a 2 length path between vertex number 1 and 4. Let us verify it from the graph. 1 to 2 there is an edge and then 2 to 4 there is an edge. So, the path is 1 2 4. How many edges are involved in between? There are 2 edges involved in between, 1 2 edge and 2 4 edge. So, there is a path of length 2 between a pair of station 1 4. Let us verify it with another one, 2 3. So, if you take it 2 3, let us see if there is a 2 length path between 2 and 3 here. A path that starts from 2 goes through 4 and reaches up to 3. So, the path is 2 4 3. There are 2 edges involved in between. So, the length of the path for this path would be 2, hence the entry between 2 to 3 is represented by 1. Would it have been 2 or 3 or 4 paths between the pair of station 2 3, this entry would have been 4. Okay. So, this entry is telling you how many paths are possible between a pair of station, how many 2 length paths are possible between a pair of station. Let me reiterate, let that this entry may be like this also, means the A square matrix may be represented like this also, 0 3 2 1 4 3 5 2. Let us say all these entries are 0. So, if the entries are like this, in that case a 5 between 1 and 2 is telling you that there are 5 paths of length 2 between the pair of station 1 and 2. Similarly, this entry is telling you that there are 4 paths of length 2 between a pair of station 3 and 2. So, this matrix A square matrix is telling you how many paths are possible between a pair of station of length 2. Then let us compute A cube. Similarly, the A cube entry, what will you do to find out A cube? You may multiply A square matrix with A. Okay. So, you have got the A cube matrix. So, this entry, let us mark the vertex numbers here. So this entry is 1 1. This is telling you that there is a one path of length 3 between the vertex 1 and 1. So let's verify it, whether there is a path of length 3 between 1 and 1. So 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 1. There are 3 edges involved in between. So 1 2 edge, then 2 4 edge and 4 1 edge. So the total path length is 3. Similarly, let's verify it with one more, 1 3. So 1 and 3, whether there is a 3 length path between 1 and 3. So a path is 1 2, 2 4 and 4 3. There are 3 edges involved in between, hence the length of this path would be 3. So A cube entry is telling you how many paths of length 3 is existing between a pair of this station. Now finally, let us find out A raised to the power 4. What is A raised to the power 4 telling you? This is telling you how many paths of length 4 are possible between a pair of a station. For example, if I have to find out the pair of a station 1 and 1. So if the source and the destination are same, the total number of edges in between would be 4. So this kind of the path can be found with the help of A raised to the power 4. So we have A square, we have A cube and we have A raised to the power 4. We have the knowledge about how many paths of length 1 is existing, how many paths of length 2 is existing, how many paths of length 3 is existing, how many paths of length 4 are existing. So I have the knowledge about all types of the paths possible between a pair of the vertex. In case we sum all these, in case we sum A square, A cube and A4, I will have the idea about how many total paths are possible between a pair of a station, maybe of any length, maybe of 1 length, maybe of 2 length, maybe of 3 length, maybe of 4 length. So we have summed all these. M matrix is telling you that how many paths of different lengths are possible between a pair of a station. What we have done, we have added all these matrices. So the M matrix is having the information about all the possible paths. Finally, we are going to compute the transitive closure matrix. This is computed through the M matrix with all the non-zero entries represented by 1. A 2 has been converted to 1, 1 with 1, 1 with 1. You can see that all ones remain as 1 in the transitive closure matrix and all the non-zeros have been converted to 1. All zeros remain as such. So this is the M matrix and this is the transitive closure matrix. So transitive closure matrix is a matrix that shows the entries as 1 if the path between a pair of vertex are possible. In case the path is not possible, then we will represent that entry by 0. So this is the matrix, transitive closure matrix. You can draw a graph with this also. Okay. So 1 to 1 there will be an edge because the entry is 1. So 1 to 2, 1 to 3, let us draw it like this. Then 1 to 4 also. Then 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4. Then with 3 there is no outgoing edges. From 4 to 1 there is already an edge. From 4 to 2, 4 to 3 there is already an edge and 4 to 4. So this transitive closure is telling you an information about what are the vertices which are approachable. It will be telling you what are the vertices which are not approachable as well. So now having found this with this method, the matrix multiplication method, there is another method by which you can find out the transitive closure. This is when there is let us say there is a pair of station I and J. अगर इस I और J वर्टेक्स के बीच में पाथ है और उसको हम K वर्टेक्स के थ्रू जा सकते हैं तो मैट्रिक्स में एंट्री 1 होनी चाहिए. तो हमें सभी मीडिएटर के थ्रू ये देख लेना चाहिए कि क्या पाथ एग्जिस्ट करता है क्या. तो हमने क्या किया कि जितने भी मीडिएटर्स पॉसिबल हैं, तो अगर हमारे पास 4 वर्टिसेस हैं, देन वी विल टेक वर्टेक्स नंबर 1 एज अ मीडिएटर फर्स्ट, देन वी विल टेक वर्टेक्स नंबर 2 एज अ मीडिएटर नेक्स्ट, देन वी विल टेक वर्टेक्स नंबर 3 एज अ मीडिएटर नेक्स्ट, एंड मैट्रिक्स की सारी एंट्रीज को रिफाइन कर देते हैं. ओके, सो for finding out the matrix entry, what we have done, let's say we are taking K as 1. By taking K equals to 1, then you take all the entries of the matrix and find it out once again by taking one vertex as a mediator. So, if the direct path is not possible, there is a possibility that a path is possible with the help of mediator vertex. So, either the direct path is possible, or the single line is representing OR, and this ampersand is representing AND. Okay. So, either the direct path is possible, or you go from I to K and then you go from K to J. In case both the paths are possible, there is a path possible between I to J. Okay. So, I to K and K to J, you go from I to K, then you go from K to J, the path will be possible between I to J. So, you will change the mediator vertex one by one, and then you can find out finally the transitive closure. So, this is the Warshall algorithm for finding out the transitive closure. Now, let us say we have to find out the shortest path between a pair of station, between every pair of the vertex. So, the concept that I told you just now will be implemented there. Here in this algorithm, what we have done, we were considering that every edge has no cost assigned to it. We were saying that whether there is an edge or there is not an edge, either there is an edge or there is not an edge. So, if there is an edge, that is represented by 1, if there is no edge, that is represented by 0 in the form of the adjacency matrix. So, we were doing all these activity on the adjacency matrix itself. Now, if you have to find out the shortest path and the cost have been assigned to the edges, in that case, for finding out the shortest path, you will have to take the help of the mediator vertices, then you will have to go through those mediator vertex to reach to the destination. It is quite possible that the direct path is costly and the path through the mediator vertex is not costly or cheaper. Okay. So, you have a source as I, you have a destination as J. You find out the shortest path between source and the destination using a mediator vertex. Okay. So, now let us say we have been given a graph, एक ग्राफ हमें गिवन है और इस ग्राफ से हमने वेट मैट्रिक्स निकाला. लेट्स से द वेट मैट्रिक्स इज द इनपुट टू अस. इस वेट मैट्रिक्स में दिस इज सिमिलर टू द एडजेसेंसी मैट्रिक्स. जैसे एडजेसेंसी मैट्रिक्स में पेयर ऑफ स्टेशन के बीच में अगर एज है तो वो 1 से शो होता था, यहाँ पे पेयर ऑफ स्टेशन के बीच में जो एंट्री होगी वो उसका वेट बताएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फ्रॉम 1 to 2 द वेट इज 6. सो फ्रॉम 1 to 2 वेट इज 6 here. Okay. Similarly, you can verify it with the other entry. From 3 to 4, the cost of the edge is 2. So, we have represented that by 2. So, we are computing the distance matrix from the weight matrix. We are making certain changes here. क्या change हम कर रहे हैं? यहाँ पे diagonal entry को हम 0 रखते हैं, क्योंकि अगर आपको 1 से 1 जाना हो तो obvious सी बात है 0 cost होगी. अगर आपको 2 से 2 जाना हो तो 0 ही cost होगी. लेकिन computations करने के लिए जहाँ जहाँ अदर प्लेसेस पे 0 एंट्रीज हैं, हमने उसको इनफाइनाइट में चेंज कर लिया. मान लिया कि ये जो वर्टिसेस हैं वो अप्रोचेबल नहीं है. 4 to 1 इज नॉट अप्रोचेबल. सो वी आर प्लेसिंग इनफाइनाइट इन द प्लेसेस other than the diagonal entries where there are zeros in the weight matrix. After this, we are considering that we have the mediator 1, vertex number 1 को mediator ले लीजिए और इससे जाने वाले सारे पाथ्स को कंसिडर कर लीजिए. हो सकता है कि I से J जाने के लिए डायरेक्ट पाथ पॉसिबल ना हो, लेकिन अगर आप 1 वर्टेक्स के थ्रू जाएं तो हो सकता है कि पॉसिबल हो. तो इस तरह से आप एंट्रीज को फाइंड आउट करें और आप पहले ये देखें कि कॉस्ट ऑफ H क्या है. लेट्स से वी आर फाइंडिंग आउट द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन I and J. हो सकता है कि डिस्टेंस बिटवीन I and J विच इज अवेलेबल टू यू प्रीवियसली इज स्मॉलर. अगर ऐसा नहीं है तो आप एक काम करो कि I से 1 चले जाओ एंड देन 1 से J चले जाना और इन दोनों चीजों को ऐड कर लो. इन दोनों में जो भी मिनिमम हो आप उसको सेलेक्ट कर लीजिए एंड दैट विल बी द एंट्री इन अवर D1 मैट्रिक्स. सो D1 मैट्रिक्स को फाइंड करने के लिए D0 को बेस रखिए और जहां जहां अपडेशंस पॉसिबल है वहां पे अपडेशंस कर दीजिए. बट इन दिस केस द अपडेशंस आर नॉट पॉसिबल. लेट्स टेक D2. What is D2 telling you? D2 is telling you that you have taken vertex number 2 as a mediator. Vertex number 2 को mediator अगर आप ले रहे हैं तो सभी एंट्रीज को आप एक बार चेक करो एंड देन अपडेशंस जहां पे भी पॉसिबल हैं, अपडेशन उस केस में पॉसिबल है जबकि Dij इज नॉट स्मॉलर, बल्कि आप I से 2 जा रहे हैं एंड देन 2 से J जा रहे हैं, इन दोनों को आपने सम किया, दिस एक्चुअली इज स्मॉलर देन Dij. ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे ये एंट्री 9 है जिसको कि हमने रेड कलर से शो किया है. D1 मैट्रिक्स में ये इनफाइनाइट था, अप्रोचेबल नहीं था, लेकिन 1 से 4 अप्रोचेबल है 2 वर्टेक्स को जब आपने मीडिएटर लिया. देख सकते हैं आप इस मैट्रिक्स से भी कि आपको D1 से 2 जाना है एंड देन 2 से 4 जाना है. सो व्हाट इज 2 to 1, what is 1 to 2? 1 to 2 entry is 6 and 2 to 4 entry is 3. So 6 plus 3 is 9, which is a smaller than infinite. That's why we have updated this. Next case में हम क्या करेंगे, हम अपडेट करेंगे D3, माने कि थर्ड वर्टेक्स को आप मीडिएटर लेंगे. अगर आप थर्ड वर्टेक्स को मीडिएटर लेंगे तो अगेन यही एंट्री जो पहले 9 थी वो अपडेट हो गई 7 से, सेम फार्मूला से. मतलब कि आपको क्या करना है कि 1 से 4 एंट्री फाइंड करनी है. तो हो सकता है कि 1 से 4 डायरेक्ट मिनिमम हो, या फिर 1 से 3 चले जाइए एंड देन 3 से 4 चले जाइए. 1 से 3 एंट्री इन D2 इज 5 एंड 3 to 4 एंट्री in D2 is 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7 and we have updated this value. Similarly आप फाइनली फाइंड करेंगे D4 एंट्री जो कि फोर्थ वर्टेक्स को मीडिएटर लेगा. Incidentally there is no change in this matrix. So this way the D4 matrix will be telling you all the shortest paths possible, the distance between every pair of the possible, every pair possible in the graph, every vertex pair possible in the graph. So D4 matrix is your final answer through the Warshall's algorithm. Now let us try to write out the algorithm. In the algorithm is very simple. You have been given a weight matrix here. A graph is given and a weight matrix is given. We can refer to the vertices of the graph like this. G equals to VE. We have an idea about V and E. So mod of V is telling you, let's say, the number of vertices. So you have a weight matrix. Through this you are computing the distance matrix. So what is happening in the distance matrix? If the entry is 0, there are two possibilities, either that is I and j are same or I and j are not same. If I and j are same, it means the source and the destination are same. In that case we will put the entry 0 in the distance matrix. Otherwise if the I and j are different, we will put the entry infinite. Okay, so for all the values in the weight matrix we are creating a distance matrix, and in that distance matrix 0 entries has been changed by either 0 or infinite. Now all other entries remain the same, means if the Wij is not 0, so whatever is the entry in the W matrix, the same will be entry in the distance matrix. So otherwise Dij equals to Wij, the same entries of Wij has been copied to Dij. Now after this what you will take every vertex as a mediator once, and then you will change all the entries of, or you will update all the entries of the distance matrix by the formula Dij equals to minimum among Dij, और I से K चले जाइए और K से J चले जाइए, उन दोनों को ऐड कर दीजिए. तो इन दोनों में जो भी मिनिमम वैल्यू होगी that will be selected. When the entire operation will finish, you will return the D. So the main point or major point of the discussion would be these points wherein you have taken every vertex as a mediator once. You have taken vertex number 1 as a mediator one time, you have updated all the matrix entries. Then you have taken vertex number 2 as a mediator, updated all the entries. You have taken vertex number 3 as a mediator, you have updated all the entries. So जितने भी vertices possible हैं आपके ग्राफ में, उन सब के लिए आपने ये अपडेशंस किए हैं. और जब ये अपडेशंस कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे, सारे vertices को आपने एक बार mediator ले लिया, तो फाइनली you will return the distance matrix that will be containing the minimum distance or the shortest distance between all possible pair of the stations. Now इसकी analysis अगर आप करें तो you can see that you have been given G and W. From your side you pick the D, okay, and 2-3 more variables like I, J and K. Size of the D matrix or the distance matrix would be V cross V. Okay, so V square is the space plus some extra variables which are 1, 2 and 3, I, J and K. So V square plus 3. So here you require theta V square space. And what about the time? Here you require, for analysis of this you can just see the loops. The first loop says that it runs from 1 to V, 1 to V, it means there are nested loops. Inside this there are certain conditions you are checking. So, either this condition will be true or this will be true. So, if this condition is true, you are again checking a condition and then a statement. So, 3 statements are inside this loop. V square is the complexity here and V cube will be the complexity of this loop, because there are 3 loops. So, total complexity has become V cube plus 3 V square, and for this you can write theta of V cube as the time complexity. Thank you.